Hey everyone, welcome back. This is my review of Glasslip episode 10. I am not happy. Okay, first off, this episode's titled Jonathan. Jonathan, if you remember, is the name of one of the chickens that Toko will feed occasionally, alright? Now, let me ask you something. It was only seen in one scene in this fucking episode at the very end. Why the fuck would they call this episode Jonathan? If that's the case, it's like it's like the simple fact that they had to call this episode Jonathan when barely anything fucking happened is kind of sad. Okay. Now, stuff did happen, but there's reasons why I'm going to be complaining here. I'll explain in the review, obviously. So, Glasslip episode 10. Really, there were only two scenes that I recall that were... No, three scenes I recall, which were really important. The beginning of the episode, which basically picked up immediately where the previous episode left off with Sachan and whatnot. Okay. And I have to talk about that real quick, because I was really disappointed in that, because it's like, I honestly thought that she was going to break up with Hiro and want to start a lesbian relationship with Toko, which, you know, whether that would have worked out or not, who knows, because there's still Kakeru here in the mix, you know. And it's not like I have anything against Hiro that I want them to break up, because I don't, because that was just a cock tease at the end of the last episode. It really fucking was, okay? And I've heard some people say, well, maybe she is in love with Toko, but she still wants them to stay friends at least for the time being. But she's obviously not lesbian because her and Hiro are still together, okay? So it's like, you know, whatever. The other scene that I did feel was important because it led up to the final scene in the episode was a scene where Toko basically came over to Kakeru's house to try to talk to him, but he wasn't there, but there was a tent in their yard, and Kakeru's mother and father invited her to have some tea in it. Okay, and their conversation is what's important, because it's basically explained that, you know, since Kakeru was a child, they never stayed living in one location at a time. He would always make friends really quickly as a child, but once the festival came around, everyone would get in the festival mood, and they'd all forget about him. I'm guessing even after the festival, which is kind of sad, you know what I mean? Alright, and he always had a saying for it, which was a sudden expected loneliness, I believe. Alright, and that was important. That scene was important because that conversation helped lead up to the final scene of the episode, which was also important, which was where Toko and Kakeru confronted each other again. They chatted. Toko told Kakeru about the envision that she saw with the kiss. And then by the end of that conversation, they actually kissed for real. Okay. Now, I do have an issue with that, though, because it was not really well built up at all. Like, I guess I could kind of have seen it coming. But it's like, I knew it was going to happen eventually. I just didn't know it was going to happen in that particular scene. But it's like, there's a still frame and they're fucking kissing. Are you kidding me with these still frames? They're killing me, man. The animation is so bad. It's like, and again, I'm going to reiterate, PA Works did fucking Nagi no Asukara, which has some of the best animation I've ever seen in anime, period. Okay? And I know people will say, well, you should don't look at the studio, look at the people working on it, but it's like, in terms of art, this looks exactly like Nagi no Asukara, down to the fucking T. Are you honestly telling me that... I'm not sure if it's being animated by the same people or not, but it really seems like to me, and if it's not, they really couldn't get the same people, because Nagi no Asukara looked so fucking good in terms of the animation. Like, it was so well animated. And this is just shit animation. The art, I love the art, but the animation's garbage. Oh my god. So yeah, there's those three important scenes. However, they are kind of overshadowed by a whole crop of nothingness. What I mean by that is that there's a lot of scenes in this episode which are useless, okay? And it wouldn't be such an issue if they were at least entertaining, but they're really not. Like, I think like one time I may have chuckled a bit at something that happened, but that's really it. I don't even remember what it was either. That's how important it was. Okay. Scenes like this that I'm talking about are like when Yanagi is running, okay, with the girls at the at the school swimming pool, watching her, and at the end she meets up with one guy, I don't remember what his name is. That's a useless scene. It didn't go anywhere. It wasn't needed. Another example of it, right? Toko's little sister trying on her new red dress that Yanagi gave her. A useless fucking scene. Okay? And that's just a couple examples. There's a lot of this in there. There's a few scenes after the beginning scene, obviously, with Hiro and Sachan texting each other. Useless scenes. They don't go anywhere. Except maybe to show their, love, but their love doesn't really seem to be going too far, except we know they're going out. That's really pretty much it. And it doesn't help our two main characters at all, so it's like, what's the fucking point? Seriously. Okay, so here's what we have for this episode, in terms of the scenes. We have 3 scenes that are important, which are very short-lived, by the way. 2 of them, I still had an issue with, major issues with, and even so, they're completely fucking overshadowed by all of the nothingness in this episode. Seriously. It's really kind of disappointing. Because I expected a lot going into this series, and I'm not really getting that. Another thing I want to mention in this episode is the music. Now, I'm not complaining about the music. I love the music. It's so beautiful, okay? But, yeah, it's really hard not to fall asleep when you're listening to this, music, because it's so, calm and soothing, and it really makes you want to fall asleep. And, it doesn't help that there's so much boring shit in this episode. It's like, are they trying to get people to fall asleep here? This music does not fucking help, So I just want to mention that real quick as well. Again, I'm not complaining about the music. I think it's amazing, beautiful, but still. Anyways, though, overall, this episode was very average. It really was. It did have a little bit of plot progression, but still, they could have cut out so much in this episode. And it would have been so much shorter, and then they could have added more important scenes. I think this series is going to be 13 episodes in total. If they cut out all of the useless shit in the series, I think they could get it with 6 episodes. Make it a 6-episode series. I'm not even kidding. They put so much pointless shit in these episodes just to extend it, I fear. And that's not a very good thing, okay? Really, it's not. Anyways, overall, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. These after guys, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.